Hey, what's up guys? Today I'm going to show you how to count unique entries or unique transaction numbers or unique values in large data based on a criteria. What I mean by this is, for example, I'm working with this data and this is sales for a specific store. Store number is store 101. Store 101 has different transactions. However, if you see this transaction appeared twice. If I hit count, we see that this is 264 entries here. However, many of these numbers appear twice. As you can see here, or more than once. How do I get a count of every item based on a criteria? Let's just say, let me know how many unique transaction numbers happen at store 101. Currently, I'm working with store 101 and 103. So one of the ways to do this is by using a pivot table, but not just any pivot table. First, I recommend turn your data into a table, which is the easiest way to work. Meaning, if you need to add more data, the table will expand automatically, dynamically, and you don't have to rename or work with your formulas. In this case, go to the pivot table. I'll put it in an existing sheet. The magic happens when you click this button, add this data to the data model. You must click this. I will show you what happens if you don't click this. If you don't click this, let's just say that, start with data, let's say show me stores and show me transactions and show me the count of how many transactions. This is going to show you 124 transactions for store 101 and 140 transactions for store 102. However, this is inaccurate because many of the transaction numbers appear multiple times. So the proper way to do this in Excel, one way to do it is by insert, pivot table, add this data to the data model, and this is why it's so important. When you click this option, you will have a new feature, as you call it. Let's go back and put store and transaction number. In this case, instead of saying count, you can go and put distinct count or unique count. And now it's giving you that for store 101, you don't have 124 transactions. You have 49 transactions. And for store 103, you don't have 140, you have 48 transactions. However, let's just say that you don't want to work with pivot tables. You want to do it straight with formulas. There is also a way to do it with formulas. And just in case if you think I didn't click, distinct count do not appear on a regular pivot table. Distinct count, however, appears when you add the data to the data model at the bottom. Now, this is the formula. This is the formula that I used to get the same number. For example, this formula is in place here. How this formula works pretty much is here. First, you put equals sum, open parentheses, and follow this formula here. What you're going to change is this, pretty much. This area is what you're going to change. Everything else, leave it as is. This, whatever you select here, which is going to be the results. In this case, I want to know the transaction, how many transactions I have, or unique transactions. This has to be equals to this. That is more than 0. So in this case, this data will work as this. On my master data, I call the table master. This is the name of my table. And I have here, the column is called store. and this column is called transaction ID. I go back here, and the way I do it is equals sum if frequency, open parenthesis, if, here's what the magic happens. Now let's do this again, but taking this information and doing it from scratch. Copy, open parenthesis, equal sign, sum. If the data on the master sheet, what I mean by this is, if what I want to know is, let's just say transactions by date. So if I select the entire column once again, if on the master data the POS date is equals the data on this sheet, is equals to data on this sheet, which means if is equals to this date here, then give me the transaction ID. This here is inside the frequency function. So that it's going to give me a transaction ID, and it's going to count the frequency of that transaction ID. Close parenthesis. In this case, if it's true, give me the transaction ID. Remember, what I have here must be here as well. So I do exactly the same. Go to the end, hit enter. Hit enter since the formula is missing an open parenthesis, which in this case will be here. Now if I hit enter, I will have an error. The key for this is once you enter the formula, you have to click Control, Shift, and Enter. Now, if, let's just say we had one of these transactions on the second, it will show me a number. So what we can do to test it is change maybe one of this for the second. Go back here, and now it's giving me 1. If I change this for, now we have 2. And I have 2 transaction numbers, 2 different transaction numbers, which is the same that I got here. However, if I add this here, a third, we have 3 that happen on the second. However, these 2 transactions are the same. Still showing me 2. Okay, guys? Same thing, you're going to follow the same exact formula to do here. In this case, it will be, let's copy the same, copy, equals, paste this formula, if the data on the master sheet, in this case I'm looking for a store 103, if, so I select store, equals to delete this, and if the data on the master sheet on the store column is equals to this, let's replace it, then give me this transaction ID. What I do here, I also have to do here. And let me close the parentheses here. Once again, you hit enter, you're gonna have an error, but you're gonna hit Control Shift Enter, and now I have 48 transactions. This data matches this data. Now, the advantage to have to do it with a formula is that if I change, let's just say here, let me change this to 103. I'll come back here. This updates automatically to 49.49. However, the pivot table didn't change. In the pivot table, you will have to come to the Analysis tab and refresh. Once I refresh the data, then I have the updated information. Let's go back and change it to 101. Hit enter. This is changed immediately from the one we used the formula. To come back to the pivot table, we have to come back and analyze and refresh my data. So I hope this was helpful to you guys. If you have any other questions about how to use this formula, remember guys, after you enter this data, you must hit Control CTRL Control plus Shift plus Enter. Okay guys, you must hit Control Shift Enter. What Control Shift Enter does, if you see this, he added this symbols at the end, okay? If I click on it, you go away, enter it, I go back, Control Shift Enter, and my data or my formula works. Alright guys, so let me know if you have any other questions at the bottom. Let me know if you want me to explain it better. Let me know if you have any comments, and if you have any trouble with your project or with your sheet, and I can help you out. Alright guys, as always, please subscribe, hit the like button, okay guys, hit like, subscribe, and share this video guys. Alright, thanks for watching guys. Bye bye.